On this lovely full moon, we're going to talk about the ones who want to become alive. So 5D Collective, those who do self-help, personal development with emotions and thoughts in the forefront, and they do not in any way, shape, or form want to continue engaging in any form of physical relationship that involves the sympathetic. There's groups of people, I know of them, there's sciences and technology, and there's 7 to 14 charming. You will notice who they are because they will talk about their own preferences. They will highlight it. Then they will highlight that they want to be destigmatized as a group, and that's why their preferences are ideal, and that's where we all know what superhero capes have. So superhero capes have trauma that's unresolved. So they're all Pinocchios with a wooden body. Now they have their own mission. We're going to leave them alone. I am here for those who want to be 5D. Christ consciousness is very specific. It's called forgiveness, unconditional love, and our mammalian heritage. Moving into your restorative embodiment, integration of the brain. Healthy relationships are built on hugging and kissing and being very, very gentle and soft. And that is it. Because your 0-1-year-old in no way, shape, or form was born saying, oh, yay, let me be tortured to death and be in my sympathetic and go on and off, on and off, on and off. The 2-year-old, the 3-year-old. So no matter how many people come in the book of a person who has an integrated brain, who's a whole inner child, I will share with you, I got lucky. I have secure attachment. It's not boring. The people who use that term, their biochemistry is one of fear. They're in their sympathetic. They're on and off all the time. They're actually doing their entire body a disservice. They're not even living anything called passion at all. No matter how many times they think that things are passionate, yeah, your body did not want to engage in on and off, on and off. So getting out of that hypervigilance, getting out of a body that seeks to be traumatized over and over and over again, yes, that's something that the inner child does not want of a person who's self-aware and wants inner and outer well-being. So our community builds healthy self-worth relationships. It's people who want to be in their mammalian heritage, the 5D collective, Christ consciousness. Oneness consciousness is about our healthy, and healthy means eustress, not distress. And anytime you're in your sympathetic, we're not going to want to have that in relationship. So some people are okay with actually being, what's the word? Yeah. And they're sympathetic. That's the only word. I don't. When I have my panic attacks, when I'm in a fear state, when there's an earthquake, I don't like it. No. And that's it. There's no equation. If somebody likes to be in fear, I know they have trauma that they haven't healed. I'm going to leave it alone. Pinocchios with a wooden body, ears, tails, they self-soothe, they do numbing, they do black and white thinking, split think. They stay with their adaptive child, maladaptive child behavior. They completely are able to make a toxic relationship, which is a trauma bonding relationship, look healthy. I've met these people, no matter how much attachment trauma information you share, they're like, no. And they actually follow the very pattern of the adaptive child that any of those good trauma attachment researchers have given me. So it's not about lacking imagination for evil. This sentence really has my brain going like, there's no evil this way. There's no demon coming out of the earth. I'm a 5D mystic. I see things too, and I know exactly what the plane of energy is. And I have a direct relationship. In fact, the full moon has brought some beautiful messages. And so let's begin with, it's also International Yoga Day. Thank you, Sadhguru. No, yoga doesn't bring demons out of you. Don't worry. But you do have trauma, memory, and charges. And so Peter Levine, he shares muscles, bones, tissues. People find it hard to believe that the first 3 years of your life and your body contains trauma charges. But, I tell them, I know who I'm learning from. I don't know the in-depth analysis, but I know he has it. I just haven't read all of his books yet, and I'm not in the research lab, but I know who I'm learning from, and it's not Wendy's or Peter Pan's. It's from data people. Any smart human being brain will know who data people are. They don't highlight their preferences. They also don't accentuate what group they're from. It's called true spirituality, human beings. Also true science as human beings. We say, okay, we're empowering with information. You can do it. You can all get out of childhood trauma. Yes, it's not deletable. It is minimizable. And anybody who wants the in-between, there's a Zen master who tells you about laundry. I don't do the let me not motivate you or inspire you. I should say you're going to be motivated. I'm going to say it's awesome to be infinite higher human conscious potential experience. And you can get here if you want. You don't have to. Of course not. You can live Pinocchio with wood and ears and tails. And we're going to get to what I want to read to you, because I wrote a lot of things today for our full moon. But here's Sadhguru. Science of yoga allows you to create your life and a conscious planet, unfolding well-being for the individual in all life upon the planet. It's true, because yoga is a portfolio of ventral vagal state nervous system toning exercises, lo and behold. But if you got trauma shit going on that you're not noticing because you don't say, hey, I'm gonna make sense of the sensations, images, affects, meanings, behaviors, maladaptive and or adaptive, not to be pathologized. No. Dr. Daniel Fox for personality disorders, he's an expert. Dr. Daniel Siegel for integration of brain and well-being and interpersonal neurobiology and lifespan of attachment, and a lot more, Mindsight Institute. We have Patrick Tian for childhood trauma survivors. He's a childhood trauma survivor who's healed and healing and therapist. I say healing because I don't know his story. We have amazing human beings healing from their borderline personality and narcissism personality. And I mentioned her name. I think I misspoke her name in one of the videos or one of the audios. And I think it was, I said Kaylee, but it's Kylie. I think something like that. It's okay. I forget things like that. Okay. But you can ask me. I have it written down somewhere. We have a lovely man who's online also sharing his authentic journey to healing. Then we have the mantles of people who say, here, follow what a sociopath does or a psychopath and don't become like us. I'm going to keep you protected. So they take the supervillain cape and say, now I'm going to be adored and I'm also going to keep saving. It's a very intricate 3-year-old with 16-year-old who's not back home with the 1-year-old. And then we have, 7 to 14 charming saying lack of imagination for evil because they're stigmatizing still the psychopaths completely with a story from the ancient times, which don't need to be here because we got sciences like neuroscientist Patrick McNamara. He's studying brains. He proves there's no demon that possesses you, that the fear receptor in your brain goes wonky. Now, some people, they believe neurosciences and neuroanatomists are pseudoscience. No, I'm pseudoscience. I'm bringing to human spiritual and spirituality elements, and I'm not in a lab. If I see a lab person, I don't say it's pseudoscience, which I've seen YouTube people do, and it's not because of the lack of information. No. I actively meet people who say, I find it hard to believe, Maria, that my first 3 years of life have anything that's like, wow, okay, you know what? I learned something called to be quiet in my own business. My mother taught me. Yep, sure. You know what? I was just sharing you course material. I'm not going to try and prove it because that's not how my brain works, and I'm not trying to prove it. I shared a data point, and you objected it. Already I know I have a Pinocchio with a wooden body. I'm not going to try to knock on you, Pinocchio. I saw what you did with that. Your nose, Cusco. I'm a Pacha. I'm going to go hang out with Pachas. We hang out with people who want to be people, not with people who want to justify maladaptive child behavior, trauma stuff, or to continue living it, by the way. So on that note, love is not with a biochemistry of fear. Love is a biochemistry of love, and that's only going to happen when I'm safe to sit with you and you have no any type of physical activity that is going to threaten my nervous system. You will also not have any kind of non-bilateral. So if I'm emotional, you don't do you're emotional. And if I want to chit-chat and talk about a bazillion beliefs, religious, whatever, and I'm right now talking about open brains who are actually mature human beings. And I know I'm passionate because some people seem to think that all people want to stay their adolescent donkey attitude, which no. There are men, women, and days who empower themselves with insight, education, and like, wow, it's amazing to have secure attachment. Wow. Feeling safe with someone, I want more of that. They're going to be like, yes, I want unconditional love with flaws and imperfections. Why not? I know I'm imperfect and flawed. And that's where we're going. So with the full moon, what we know, messages of love, relationships, healthy self-worth, functional adults, all of that which makes up the 5D Collective. If you're interested, join us. You can learn about secure attachment, personal development, and self-help for those who are motivated again to return home to their inner child and become the inner child adult. It's called Restorative Embodiment, Integration of the Brain, and a Secure Attachment 1-year-old who wants hugs and kisses, and that is it. And to sit down and laugh and to eat and, to talk, enjoy life. And so while the Pinocchios with the wooden bodies call us serious, we say, no. You know what? You go to the island. We'll see you later. And on that note, we're going to have a take 2 where I read to you what I got to write for this lovely full moon. But for this one, I want to keep it short and I want to enjoy what we just chit-chatted about. So if you're wanting to be a part of our 5D collective, we welcome you. This means that you want to return home to your inner child, the innocence, the pure consciousness. It's called unconditional love. And it's not about proving things. There's a lot that we don't prove, but if there's one person who proves how love is meant to be for us mammals, it's Stephen Porges, and he's still working in the lab to prove it. While others create stories of the reptilian and the aliens, and there's your 4D collective with their mantles, and I love to see those show yourself, I'm dying to meet you, as they live consistently. What is it, Sadhguru? Let me go to Sadhguru. He has the best way to say things. You create your own destiny, but as long as you create it unconsciously, you think it's decided by some other force. Yes, they have had their family tell them exactly what they would become. So people who don't save their inner child become whatever it is that they were tortured with as a child, especially those who in fact were tortured. It's sad to say, it's not Luciferian era, but there's human suffering love narrative people. They have a Zen master who gives them a way to not have to work on their emotional or mental plane. And then there's the ones who instead say, you know what, I want those people. All the ones who know about the human love narrative, because I can see love is easy. I can see it's kind. I can see that it's welcoming. And I can see that I'm a human, not a misanthropist. I don't hate, dislike, mistrust humans. I'm human. I'm a human being. I'm a human body. I want to be true spirituality. It's a true person. It's a decent human being. It's amazing. So I want that. And if I'm afraid of it, then that's not because something's wrong with me. It's because my first year of life, I began with fear, and I don't want that. I want to become integrated and be my inner child adult. And I'm going to save my inner child from something that it never chose to have trauma. Not cultural, not transgenerational, not gender, not any of it. No inner child wanted to live with biochemistry of fear, hypervigilance, a default mode network that consistently scans self and others in this hypervigilant way with a body that is, because that's what's going to happen, which is why they're Pinocchios with a wooden body. Eventually, they're just going to die out or become donkeys, and you'll notice who they are once they become a donkey. To be continued. So tune in to our next episode if you'd like. Thank you for stopping by for this one, and thank you for joining us. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any curiosity questions, there's free episodes, membership content, Ask Maria, paid on audio version alone. Once we get to 1K on YouTube, that will be added. One-to-one mentorship if you're serious about yourself, loving, inner well-being, outer well-being, again. And there's a master class in the making for group. So thank you so much. Have a great day.